My real question is, how much of the storyline do you know ahead of time?
So for some reason, I always take jobs where like, we're not going to tell you anything until you get there, like Marvel, everything Marvel. No, I know a good amount now. They've pitched me the first season, but not too much. I don't know too much, which is good because I kind of don't want to know. You know, I want to find out as she finds out. There are just certain things stunt-wise I need to train for and certain abilities I need to perfect before I even try them. So it's really interesting. I do know that, you know, the greatest thing about the show is it's so relatable. It sounds bananas for me to say that, but it is, because it is this woman who's feeling, you know, actually let me just say it's a person who feels vulnerable, left out, completely outcast, has nothing to cling on to, and all she wants is somebody to just be like, hey, it's okay. And that's human connection. So when you have a base like that for something action oriented, it usually goes well. Yeah. That was a good answer.
Is there still a lack, do you think, of female action heroes? People have been calling them a lot. It seems like TV's doing a better job of that than movies are.
I agree. I think TV is doing a great job of strong female characters. You know, you got True Detective, which is a fantastic character. A lot of times, I think for some reason, for the general public to believe that a female can be an action hero, she has to be a superhero. And that's what we're trying not to do in this show. You know, everything is reality based. All the fighting you see I'm doing, I know how to do. I was a wrestler before I was an actress. And, you know, all the weapons I've been highly trained in. I've been doing Navy SEAL training this past week, which is probably why I look a little tired. Navy diving, all kinds of crazy stuff. I have a great double who I've worked with since Kyle XY. Her name's Kai Furneaux. She's a outdoor survival expert like Bear Grylls. So the pair of us is like, when shit hits the fan, it's okay. We got it. But I'm trying to sort of, with this this role, help my fellow actresses get more characters like this, because there is a good chunk of us who can actually pull this off and make it, you know, possible. I even threw out an idea in the panel. I was like, I can do a stunt fight on stage if you want, just to, you know, and they're like, no. If you get injured, we're totally screwed. And I'm like, well, all right, fine. But all that stuff, you know, it's all relatable. Somebody could tattoo you, could knock you out, tattoo you. I'm sure that happens to a lot of people when they go out for tattoo. But there is actually something that they use to help PTSD sufferers that can, used too much, be very, very, very negative for the body, resulting in memory loss. So all the things that are happening are possible. To this date, we don't know if there's actually ever been a female Navy SEAL. So that might be the only part that's heightened reality, but it could be possible. I mean, I would throw Ronda Rousey in there and just be like, oh, she's got it. I think she can handle that. But just the mentality of the character and that sort of thing, pulling off the vulnerability, also doing some of this action stuff. I understand my responsibility to make sure that this is believable. That was a really long answer.
Do you think that Jane and Kurt will ever come to a point where maybe they can trust each other a little bit? Because in the pilot, there's a lot of distrust.
Oh, for sure. That, you know, and the great thing about the pilot is usually with pilot episodes you have a lot of exposition. This pilot was like, nope. They just went right in and they're like, you'll get that later. Yeah, you know, again, the only thing Jane has at this point is her gut instinct and intuition, and it saves her life and other people's lives in the pilot. And I think a lot of times, you know, it's a great thing to just really rely on that, because every one of us has that and we don't trust it enough. That's the only thing she does have. So she gets a gut feeling about Kurt that, you know, he's not a bad guy, but she's still got to keep her distance, and he's got to keep his distance because he doesn't want to get attached to work, essentially, you know? So there will be a point later in the season where, you know, they keep trying to figure each other out. Again, it's based in human connection. I'm not going to be a love interest, at least not right off the bat that I know of. This show is not cliche in any way. Like some of the stuff they've been pitching lately, I was like, oh, okie dokie, I like that. And to have a really strong male presence, Martin Garrow, write a strong female, it's just, you know, it's so great because it can be done and it's so fantastic. And to have, you know, somebody like Greg Berlanti behind us and is so gung-ho about it and is so good at female characters, strong female characters. This is great. We're really lucky with all the people involved. Yeah.
Do you have a lot of, or did you have a lot of input or ideas about your character's history or backstory, or was that more Greg that?
Oh no! I was like, you guys don't know what you're in for. No, I've pitched a few things and they've liked it, and it is kind of what they were thinking anyway, which is such a great thing, because then you guys are all on the same wavelength, and you all kind of get what needs to happen and what should happen, what's going to happen. And there's a couple things like with the fighting, I'm allowed to kind of input on some of the moves that would be literally something I could do to somebody bigger than me that would help. And I've said, look, I just trained in the pool. I can Navy dive and I can submerge and do all these other things. Let's write it in. And they're like, all right. So all my skills that I keep learning, Martin will be like, what'd you do today? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to tell you because you're just gonna put it in the show. So yeah, it's there's input, and there's they give me such great freedom. Our director, Mark Pellington, right now, he's fantastic, and he really pulls a really rough side of me out and then a vulnerable side, and they just let me go. They just leave the camera rolling, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Thank you for waiting on me to get here.